Do you have a window that you want to let in light, but you might also need a bit of privacy with? You're going to start this project by measuring out your boards and using a miter box and a handsaw to create 45-degree edges. Next, use wood glue and press them together. You'll also use a staple gun to secure those corners. If you happen to notice once you flip your frame over that there are small gaps at the corners, grab some wood filler and press it into those gaps and sand it smooth. Go ahead and shake up your favorite color of paint and begin applying the first coat of paint to the frame. Let the paint dry and then repeat. Once that's dry, go ahead and cut a piece of lace to fit your frame. Remember, the lace should be wider and taller than the opening in the middle of the frame. Once the frame is completely dry, flip it over and place the lace on the back side. Use a nail gun to secure the lace all around the frame that you've made. You want to pull the lace tightly as you go around. Now you're ready to use this beautiful frame that you've made to let in natural light, but to also give yourself a bit of privacy.
Grab some Elmer school glue for this renter-friendly project. First, I gave my window a really good cleaning. Grab some masking tape to mask out an abstract design, and then I'm going to take my Elmer's glue and pour it straight into the tray. Then I just rolled my glue onto the window. I removed that masking tape before the Elmer's glue could dry.
Grab 2 painter drop cloths at your local home improvement store. Then place them in the washer and dryer. My drop cloths were about 12 inches too long for my windows, so I ended up folding 12 inches over the top of the drop cloth first. Then I used some curtain clips and, starting 1 inch from the top, placed them across the drop cloth. I used a tape measure to space them out exactly 3 inches apart. As a finishing touch, I steamed some of the wrinkles out of the curtains while they were hanging as well.
Check out what I found at the dollar store that's going to completely upgrade my builder-grade blinds. To get the burlap ready to use, I want to finish the edges. And I'm going to use my low temp glue gun and then fold the burlap over. I want to make a pocket for the curtain rod to go through. I'm going to fold over the top edge about 2 or 2.5 inches. I'm going to do this to the entire length of the burlap until I get to the other end. I'm going to remove the end of the rod and then just slip the rod right through that gap that I created at the top of the burlap. I'm going to measure out 2 pieces of twine, scrunch them up, and tie the twine.
We're going to start with a roll of window film. I'm going to cut a sheet of film just a little bit larger than the size of my glass. Now, using a pencil, I'm just going to sketch a design, and I'm just going to slowly cut out each piece. So spray your window with water, and then grab that first cut out piece and then gently place it onto the window, using that squeegee each time and just pressing down really well. Just cut off these edges here. You want to make sure to dry any excess water.
Measured the window, grabbed a 1x6 piece of board that was 4 foot long, and started doing a little bit of sanding to it. Next step was to go ahead and put some stain on it. Go ahead and mark it on the back of the board and go ahead and install the hardware using the screw that comes with it. Next, we need to put our hooks up, and we want to make sure that we pre-drill each one of these holes. Then you're going to go ahead and put screws in the wall. You don't want the screw going flush against the wall. Make sure it sticks out a little bit. Then take the board and you're going to slip it inside the drill hole that you did right inside the hardware. The next step is to grab some clip rings, clip it on, and just hang it over your hook.
So I am going to measure out 8 inches and then I am going to cut out a strip. You can just kind of bend this, cut another strip of foam board the same length. And I'm going to cut 4 of these 3-inch pieces. We're going to put a little hot glue on the edge and attach it to the side here and push it in there to hold it square. So again, a little bit of hot glue on the edges. So this is going to help us just hold that batting in place while we get everything else on. Right on the edges a little bit here and bring it up. So we're just going to put a little hot glue along the edges, attaching the fabric to the foam board. These are actually picture hanging strips, and we're just going to put it in place.
I'm going to use a razor blade to scrape anything stuck. Now I'm giving the windows a good clean. Going by my chosen design, I'm now marking measurements on the door's framework along the middle, sides, and top. Now I'm unrolling the vinyl tape to the full width of both glass doors combined, plus a little extra. Now I'm attaching the tape to the right side of the door glass, then removing the backing paper. Only now will I run my finger along the entire tape to stick it down to the glass. To create the vertical sections, I'm sticking the tape to the top of the glass, then down just below the horizontal tape, then trimming the ends using an X-Acto knife. For this window, I'm marking off all the measurements in pencil along the window's frame sides, middle, and top. Next, I'm running the entire length of horizontal tape first, then I'm sticking the rest of the tape down with my finger and trimming the ends.
So I'm starting by cutting 2-inch strips of fabric. I'm gonna fold a strip in half and just use an iron to create a seam so that they stay folded together. I'm gonna use some quick dry fabric glue to attach this trim right over the existing blue trim. Once that dries, I'm gonna flip this over and add glue to the backside as well. And I'm just gonna push those metal hooks through the holes in the beach mat.
We need a skinny roll of tape. And we also need some clear Elmer's glue. And our template for today is going to be an outside window. We got to put some of that tape on the window. Now, you can go ahead and take the tape and mask it to the grid that's already on the window, or you can just go random like I'm doing it. But the next step to this is we got to grab that Elmer's glue. Once we get some paint in there, all you got to do is just go back and forth with it, and it shakes up really nice. Next, move on to your second color. These are our 4 colors we're going to go with. Now, because it's on the Elmer's glue, it's actually non-toxic, and I used a foam brush to transfer it to the window. It's going to take multiple coats, but the glue and the paint dries really fast. You can actually put a coat on within an hour after you put it on. Once it dries overnight, you're going to take a knife and very gently, we don't want to scratch the window. If you try to pull the tape with it out using the knife, it may pull the glue off. Just go ahead and start pulling the tape off. It's another thing. When you're done with this and you want to change it or just take it off later, it peels right off.